Yo, welcome back. So the week is now finished, and just wanted to give an update what I've been doing, what I've been building, and what I plan to do. So the biggest thing that I'm focusing on right now is getting a client and figuring out outreach methods. So the three outreach methods that I have planned right now, two are active. Um, so the first one is inbound marketing. I finally got everything set up properly, and I am going to launch for tomorrow officially. So essentially, what happened was I was using a landing page software with the quiz builder built in and distribution called Wise Funnel. However, it didn't really work out, and it was quite difficult to use. I had to go back and forth with the software developer to get the things I needed done, and it was costing a lot of time. So I actually just went back to an old friend. His name is John from LeadCapture.io. Super, super friendly guy. Absolutely amazing. His support, customer service is top notch. He really loves what he does. So I'm super excited to use his product. And I used it in the past, but it was just a quiz builder. So I needed Unbounce as well, which was another landing page. But now he created a whole new system that has everything dialed in, and it's so intuitive, and it's like I got everything set up within the hour. It looks super nice, so really happy with all of that. He also gave me a discount so that I can use for a bit while I get up and running, and I was like super grateful. I had an issue. I emailed him. He got it fixed within a day. And yeah, just super excited to use this new software. And I believe this software can just generate so many different types of verticals, and everything is already set up. So super intuitive again. The next thing that I'm doing is cold calling, but I'm kind of dialing down on that right now just because my GHL system right now, so my toll-free numbers essentially are still in verification, and that's one bottleneck that I'm just wasting time on. And I usually get this done really fast, but for some reason it's taken so much longer this time, and I'm not figuring out what the bottleneck is or what the actual reason is on why it keeps failing. And so I have to keep retrying things, and yeah, it's wasting a lot of time. So um, that's one of the methods, and I'm just currently dialing through my business line, but it's not generating the greatest results. Some decent conversations, but most of them are these big corporate companies, and I'm just not being able to pass the gatekeeper. So I'm getting an email, and right now my email is being warmed up, which leads me in my third outreach model, which is cold call, or sorry, cold emailing. And I already have the base infrastructure already set up in my past business. So I have all the emails, I have all the domains. I believe I have 10 domains and maybe 20 to 30 inboxes. So I don't have to pay for that again. Just gotta just wake them all up and maybe just warm them up again, and then just start building lists and just start firing out some emails. Another idea that I have is right now I'm using a niche website, and so I also have a general digital marketing website that I'm thinking to revive again as well, and just rebranding it a little differently with different messaging and using that just as a general outreach source. So that's something that I'm also thinking about. And that's basically it for my PPL side of things, just getting that outreach method set up, getting some back end things set up, building out the ICPs, and I'm using that through AI. So actually, what I did was built out this ICP document, which had about like 15 different like sets of information about the ICP. I punched it into Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude. I bumped them all up to the highest setting for everything, and it outputted all of this data. So I have three crazy ass PDFs for the ICP. I put it into a project in Claude, and now it just spits out information about anything that I need about like creating hooks, creatives, anything of that sort. And yeah, so the next kind of segue that I want to get into is what I've been building with Claude. Now, Claude is absolutely freaking insane. I don't know any other words to say about Claude. Like, it's just so insane. If you don't know anything about like coding or anything of the sort, and all you want to do is just talk and build things, and you have ideas, this thing will get it done, and it gets it done at a really effective and efficient result. So what I built was basically infrastructure. I took what I had and what I've been doing manually, created all these sorts of automations and outputs. So if I had to explain it, what I had set up, I'm probably going to create a video on this, but essentially what I have right now is I have three different skills and operations. The first one is journaling, the second one is operations, and the third one is my accounting. So the first one, which is journaling, how it all works is I use Notion and I usually type things out and I usually have to review things by copy pasting. Back then, it was like manually reviewing things and then answering questions myself. And then I moved on to like summarizations using AI. But now the system that I created is absolutely insane. So you can connect Notion to Claude. You can connect all your Excel sheets to Claude. You can connect so many different things to Claude. Be careful, don't give out like private shit. But yeah, you can connect a lot of things in there and it can automatically get things done. Kind of like an, honestly, I would say like an assistant. Okay. Now, what I have now is I have a system where I use text to speech and I've created a skill for how I want it to journal. Um, and so what happens is if I go into a chat, I just spitball whatever I say. Like, for example, everything that I'm saying in this video right now, it'll do voice to text, and then it will punch out all of this data. And then as soon as I press enter, it will take all of this data or the text that I just said and puts it into a journal. And it automatically updates the journal with timestamps, and it kind of dramatically makes things better, summarizes it a little bit better of what I said. Um, and then from there, the next day, it'll just create another day, do the exact same thing. Now it does that from Monday to Sunday, and then I have an automation on Sunday at 3 p.m. What it does is it takes all of that information from Monday to Sunday up to that time and then summarizes it the way that I want it summarized, which is just neutral. It's just data. It answers some questions that I set up, and basically I have a full review of my week, easy to read, and it also does this for the month as well automatically. Once the month rolls up to the end, it also does it quarterly and it will do it yearly as well. So the next step that I have in the process of this process is step two, which is a report card. And I'll get into that in a bit. So the second skill that I created was operations. Now, in my current Notion, I was using a system where I had tasks and I have projects, and it was quite clunky, and I didn't really use it much, but I did use it. Like I used it to like understand things and just see where I was at and I needed to do. But now I really use things, and how it works is I have to probably show you how like what it looks like and then explain it, but I'll just spitball right now. So essentially, I have projects that are in planned and in progress and then done, and then I have these tasks that I need to do that can either be like ideas or notes or projects that I want to potentially plan in the future. But anytime I go into this chat and I say, "Hey, what do I have to do today?" It tells me from A to Z on my calendar. It tells me on my Gmail. It tells me on my potentially Slack if you have Slack. And then it goes through all of the projects. It tells me the due dates. It tells me the tasks that I need to do. And it just gives me everything that I need to do in one place. And it looks super nice and it's super efficient and super effective. And then from there, I can also voice to text how I want to move things in Notion, how I want to build things in Notion, and it does it all automatically. All I have to do is just talk and it will do it. And it's so freaking amazing. So I have to show it to like for you to understand, I think, rather than me kind of saying these things. And Yeah, so I was able to get so much more done this week and get it much more done organized and efficiently. And it's honestly like having an assistant. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to how I'm going to operate with all these things. Now, the last skill that I created was my accounting. And so accounting is something that I usually do at the end of the month. And it's kind of tedious. It used to take a long time, but then I got a better Excel sheet and now it takes me less time, but it still takes me a lot of time. So essentially, what I do now, unfortunately, Claude can connect to Excel, but it actually can't like work on Excel unless you use Google Chrome and then use an MCP. But I read stories that it doesn't do it too quite efficiently or effectively. So I asked Claude, hey, what do you recommend I do if I just, this is my process, this is my system. So what it's telling me now is essentially what I have to do is copy and paste all of my expenses, and what it will do is it'll output me some data on copy and paste. So I just copy and paste everything, put it in the Excel sheet, and boom, I'm done. The best part about all of this is the second step now. So now that I have the first step dialed in and got all of that, those three things are like really what helps me organize a lot of my day to day. And the next step is the report card, or just basically an overview or a summarization. So I created a separate automation now, which happens about 30 minutes after the first one. And so what this does now is summarizes all of the weekly summaries, and if it's again the end of the month, it'll do the monthly or quarterly, and it will output me all of this information that I want it to be outputted in a way, which is like a scoring. It tells me like bottlenecks that I have. It'll tell me patterns that I'm doing and just straight up no bullshit advice because that's how I programmed it. And then also it gives me an overview of my finances, and it shows me like current balances, the average that I'm spending per month, the average that I'm making per month, percentages. It shows me a graph, it shows me a pie chart that I can see at a quick glance, and I can blur things if I don't want to look at it all the time. And then there's also a button where I can compare like this month to this month, or this quarter to this quarter, or this year to this year. And as I continue to gather data and all this stuff, it'll just get more and more and more. So that's what I've been building. And yeah, it's been absolutely a game changer right now. I think I've been journaling a lot less just because I'm getting tired of typing out, and also like writing as well. I'm getting a little tired of writing as well because I've been doing that for years and years. And so if I'm just able to spitball things and just say whatever I want to say, and then Claude somehow just voice attacks it and pops it in a journal, my head feels so much freer now, and it's kind of like venting. So I don't know whatever situation you're in, but yeah, if you just want to set this all up and be able to just talk freely, have it in a database, and look back at it 1 year, or see where you need to improve, or see where you're doing well, I'd highly recommend this system. So again, I'm probably going to make a video and showcase how it all works, but that's what I've been doing on the back end side. And yeah, Claude is freaking insane. I just can't put it into words just how like it's like someone like me who just doesn't understand all this stuff can now do these things and have it simplified and executed very properly. Like it looks so nice, and it's just such a simple process. Like you don't need to, I don't know any piece of code, and it's building me all these things. Like it's absolutely insane. So I think if you have ideas, if you're creative, you can really benefit from this. And yeah, that's basically my week. I do feel now as if everything is aligning a lot better, and I have a much better idea of what I need to do and what I have to do and where I'm going. But of course, the road is always unknown. It's a little foggy, and that's totally right. Just pop your flashlight up. So that's basically it. That's all I kind of want to say today. And we will see now how these sales calls goes, and hopefully, God willing, I get my first client again in this niche by the end of this month. With good fortune, peace.